Good morning, everyone. Today I, Saumya Bhardwaj, research scholar from Geology Department of Dr. Hari Singh Gaur Vishwavidyalaya, is going to present the video on some basic useful formulas for research in biology. I will shortly summarize the central tendencies and the measures of dispersion. Now, what is central tendency? What are its characteristics? How we will calculate it will be discussed in the video. Talking about the central tendencies are usually called the averages. They give us an idea about the concentration of values in the center part of distribution. These type of statistics are descriptive, which means they seek to summarize the data. The most common measures of central tendency are the mean, also known as arithmetic mean, the median, and the mode. Now, what are the characteristics of central tendencies? The characters include: first, it should be rigidly defined. Second, it should be least affected by the fluctuations of the sampling. Third, it should be easy to interpret. Fourth, it should be easily subjected to further mathematical calculations. Fifth, it should be based on all the items. After discussing about the characteristics of central tendency, we will discuss about the mean. Mean locates the center of distribution. It is simply the sum of values divided by the total number of items in the set. It is affected by the extreme values. It may not exist as a data point in the set. How to calculate mean? For calculating mean, we will add up all the numbers, then divide the sum by the total number of observations. Now, median. It is determined by sorting the data set from lowest to highest values and taking the data point in the middle of the sequence. Median is the only average to be used while dealing with the qualitative data. It can be also determined graphically. It is not at all affected by the extreme values. Now comes the method to calculate the median. First, arrange the data either in the ascending or the descending order. Second, if the total number of observations n is odd, then use the following formula: n plus 1 upon 2th term. Third, if the total number of observation n is even, then use the following formula for calculating the median. Median is equals to arithmetic mean of two middle observations. Now, we will discuss about the mode. Mode is the most frequently occurring value in the data set. There may be no mode or several modes. It is not affected by the extreme values. It can be conveniently located even if the frequency distribution has class interval of unequal magnitude. Now, we will discuss about the dispersion. What is dispersion? What are the objectives? What are its advantages and disadvantages? Mean summarizes the center of distribution, but on its own, it may not be informative enough. It is often used to show how far the figures differ from the averages. This measure is known as dispersion. It shows how the data is spread or scattered around the mean. Objectives of dispersion: to know the average variation of different values from the average of a series, to know the range of values, to compare between the two or more series expressed in different units, to know whether the central tendency truly represents the series or not. Now, the advantages of dispersion. When used with the mean, it shows the distribution of values around the mean, statistically more useful. It is easy to calculate and shows the spread of data. Now, the limitations. It depends on only two values and ignores the rest. It becomes the problem if extreme values are atypical. Second, the range tends to increase as the sample size increases. Now, I will shortly tell a little bit about range, mean deviation, variance and standard deviation. Range. The difference between the highest and the lowest number is the range. For finding range, put the numbers from the smallest to largest, subtract the lowest value from the largest. It is an unstable measure. It does not describe the middle value. Now, mean deviation. It is the average of the absolute deviation of data points from the mean. It takes all the values into consideration. It is useful when there are few extreme values. Now, variance. It is the stable measure which amplifies differences between each data point and the mean. Now, after talking about range, mean deviation, variance, we'll talk about the standard deviation. Standard deviation is the square root of the arithmetic mean, square of deviation from the arithmetic mean. In short, it may be defined as the root mean square deviation from mean. It is the most stable measure and it is affected by all the values. It is used as an inferential statistics. I hope this video was informative and thank you all for your patience.